to where you believed, or to where Nipples the Troll Cave was, where you believed the entrance to the mine to be, as you found that the Gobfather and his minions have moved into the area since the boss is gone here. You guys had a little bit of a fight where, fortunately, you
A
were
little bit.
inside. Fortunately, you were inside the cave, which is typically a very bad place to be, but obviously goblins are horrible tacticians, and you waded through most of their ranks. After a glorious fight, and an ever so escape by the Gobfather and Domo Origabo, you guys gathered the remaining bodies of the goblins, put them within the ring of stones for the foundation for the new tower, and lit them ablaze. You've also captured one goblin, and in the meantime tied him up with probably 4 times the amount of too much rope, where he looks like the Michelin Man. Friar Pan is pretty seriously hurt. All of you are exhausted at this point due to the fight. Zet, of course, you're out of spells, and I believe the Friar is also, aside from any kind of cantrips that you guys have. And you knocked this goblin out, so he is laying on the ground with a big old lump. The fire at this point, is raging. There's thick, oily smoke from the dirty goblins, going up into the to the dense swamp fog, and it really is just it's not letting the smoke permeate through the fog. So this whole area just reeks of burning flesh at this point. And obviously, sight is becoming a little more difficult just because of the fog and the smoke mixture. So,
Probably doesn't smell as bad as Friar Pan.
no, actually, that's a good point. You all, it's kind of like an Old Spice commercial. You go with Friar Pan, then you go with the smoke, and you're like, ah.
I fart in your general direction.
So at this point, you guys really have to decide what you're going to do. I mean, do you...
We're gonna rest, obviously, and then we will lay havoc upon the rest of the goblin creatures. Right?
Yes,
Is
absolutely.
that a consensus? We're gonna hunt this bastard down, hang him up by his testicles.
Yes, some sort of nasty thing.
Yeah, whatever Jacques can think of, that times that by 2. And that's how we feel.
So I'm glad after all this time that the anger is still burned deep within your souls.
It might be tempered now with a little bit of, what we're gonna do, but still, it's still there.
So do you guys rest out here in one of the huts, or?
I'm almost thinking the cave since it's cooler.
Wouldn't it be better to rest in the cave and just have one person stay and watch at the door? Or the entrance or whatever.
It's cooler, probably doesn't smell of smoke.
Okay, so you guys make your way down into the cave, and it was a very good idea considering how it was described before. There's a natural ventilation back here in the northwest corner, where you're getting cold, some kind of cold air at a higher pressure than the outside. So all the smoke, all the fog, all the smell, except for Friar Pan, is kept outside. You guys make your way into the back, or you guys go wherever you want to go, but the back area of the cave has, been a little bit furbished for the Gobfather. There's fresh, cleaner rags to lay upon, if you so choose.
I want to drag the
wouldn't really
goblin
call it
to the
fresh,
square
but-
here.
Okay.
And then we can rest here and make sure we block the exit with the friar's back fat.
So you just plug him in there,
Yeah.
standing up, sleeping.
No. Back here. Like right there, and then we'll just take watches, you know.
Okay.
So whoever goes first, you know, can sit like here and they can watch out.
On Friar Pan.
Yeah.
So we are doing a long rest, correct?
Yeah.
Friar Pan, are you going to expend the remainder of your hit dice to heal up?
Yes.
Okay. Roll me, 3d8? And anyone else who is hurt, if you choose to expend hit dice
No, I'm good.
for your long rest.
Hey, too
Love
long,
seeing
you mother...
that 4. That is awesome. So you have 4 hit points back after the long rest.
How
Wow.
many hit dices do we get?
Your level, so I believe you guys are 3, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'd get...
You can spend them all or you can spend one. It's up to you.
They're going to recharge after...
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're taking a long rest.
The way we're playing is when you take a short rest, you can use as many as you want, or you can take as many short rests as you want, within reason, of course. But anything you use during the day, you cannot use after a long rest. Since you guys haven't used any short rests at this point, you can use however many you feel you need, and then they recharge after your long rest.
Oh, okay. Well then, I could. Cause I'm only missing 5, but it's gonna recharge. I might as well use them.
Right.
I get my spells back though, right?
Correct.
So mine's 3d10, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's on the front sheet of your character sheet. You should see hit dice at the bottom right. Just
I
click that.
cannot believe I started the night off throwing
Hey,
3
a
little
dice
bit better.
2 ones.
Okay, so first watch, whoever has it, roll me d10. Hostile territory, 10%
Shock.
chance you have an encounter.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Second watch.
Who's got second watch?
Oh, come on, Fire Pan, Fire Pan, Fire Pan,
I
Fire
got
Pan.
it.
Yes! Here comes the one.
Haha.
It's on me now.
Is that the lucky?
D10.
Yes, sir.
Yay!
Okay. You guys'
We
long
live.
rest for the next 8 hours goes on eventfully, aside from a goblin who is rocking back and forth. You guys have looked over. He's tried to chew through ropes at times. He's got caught. He's got beaten, yelled at, whatever. You guys wake up, or you're done your long rest. Fire Pan still looks like he's pretty beat up. But the rest of you guys are feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
I look over at the goblin, kind of look over at Jacques. Hey, Jacques. And I rub my belly a little bit. Do goblins taste good cooked? Yeah, I give him a big smile.
Is he gagged?
I would assume so, yeah.
Well, especially during the night. Well, maybe I prefer my wine and cheese, but I don't know what type of wine goes with goblin. Is it the white wine?
Shakes his head no.
Boone's Farm.
Maybe a nice Chardonnay. I don't know.
Strawberry Hill.
Fire Pan speaks Goblin, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
he does.
I do.
But this
I don't know
Goblin
how,
speaks
but-
Common.
I don't recall. Was I speaking common or was I speaking through Fire Pan?
I can't remember.
You were speaking
remember.
through me.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought I was too.
Okay. Then I'll ungag him. Say
Let me see if he bites you. There is a 10% chance he is stupid enough.
well,
Is it
I
a
mean,
ball gag?
I'll use my thaumaturgy and make sure my eyes are glowing fiery red.
Okay, never mind.
He attempts, but misses, right?
Like he pees himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll
You get a whiff of ammonia for some reason. Is that asparagus?
I'll turn to Fire 4-0. Flyers lost. I'll turn to Fire Pan and be like, tell this creature that he can either help us willingly, or we will use him through a spell again and then discard him like we did his people.
Okay. So I tell the goblin he can either help us, we can use a spell on him and then kill him, or I'm going to sit on him.
No, boss. I'm here to help. You tell me what you need to done, and I'll do it.
I turn to Zet and
Teak will do it. Teak is good.
I turn to Zet and Jacques and I say, I believe we may have acquired his assistance.
You let Teak go. Teak, do what you need.
I'm going to walk over and kick him and tell him to shut the hell up until I have something else to ask him. Where's your village located at?
He looks up at you immediately after you tell him to shut up and kick him. He doesn't know if he's talking or not.
Now you can talk.
Village deeper in swamp.
Ask him how far away it is. How long's the journey from here?
How long is the journey from here to your village?
Not too far. About a day if we move fast. I take you there, but you let me free. I know go.
Do I look like I move fast?
Tell him that if he does not help us, that I will rape his woman in front of his children.
What is wrong with you?
Or something like that. You know.
I after Jock tells me that, I kind of like raise an eyebrow at him, look at him, and I look over at Zed.
I shake my head no.
And I say to the goblin, the hairy Frenchman says that he will do nasty things to you if you do not help us.
I say I help. But you let Teak go before we get there.
I kind of pat my longbow and look at him and smile.
No.
Okay, so I look.
Boss, you tell them I help. You let go. You let me go, though.
I tell him that he's willing to help us as long as we let him go before we get to the village.
How about we put him on a leash?
That's a good idea.
Okay. All right. So you want me to tell him he needs to lead us to the village, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I tell him that we're going to tie him up and restrain him, and that he's going to lead us to the village. And
Go on.
And once we get to the village, we will release him. Sure.
Teak go free.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
You promise?
Oh, we will untie you once we get to the village.
I look over at Zed, the devil's spawn, and I say, do you promise?
Yes, tell him if he takes us to his village, we will give him his freedom.
I relay
it might be a short-lived freedom.
I relay the answer that if he leads us to the village, that he will be given his freedom.
And life!
Clever.
It was already in the back of my mind.
Clever goblin.
That's a I don't know about that.
Sure.
Teak help. You let Teak go, you let Teak live. Teak help.
Absolutely.
He puts out his pinky.
How's he do that? He's tied up.
He's amazingly nimble.
I pick up Coral and I ask him if he would like his pinky crushed.
He shakes his head no.
Good. Then don't screw with us.
Yes, boss.
Hopefully he does not try to escape because he is no good to us dead, you know.
We don't have to kill him. We can just beat him up again. It's not a problem. He just doesn't
Yeah.
do that.
But I don't know if I want to run to the swamp. The arrow, I think, is much more. It's less physically exertion, you know.
Well, since this thing can't understand what we're saying, I walk over to Zet and I basically say, Zet, he could lead us to the village, and then when we get close to the village, we can cast that spell on him again, take control over him, and then he, that way he doesn't try and pull any bullshit on us, or sound an alarm or anything like that.
Or we can just kill him.
But I gave my word.
If he leads us to this village, he's no longer of use to us. So I don't care what we do with him.
Point taken.
Well,
Okay.
once we kill everybody in the village, he could probably live in a deserted village, eh?
I highly doubt he'll be anywhere around.
How do you go from raping his wife to let him live in an empty village?
Yeah, I don't want him to double cross us.
I seriously do not want to know what your childhood was like.
Honestly, I do not want to touch a goblin. I mean, I would rather touch the friars than touch a goblin.
Please stop. Alright, let's go.
Alright. So we put a lasso around his neck, and then we keep his hands tied, but his legs are his legs have like 2 feet of rope between him, so he can walk, but he can't take a long stride, so that he can lead us.
No boss, can't do this. Need hands, need legs. We go through swamp.
If you don't agree to it this way, you won't have any hands or legs.
It no work, it too dangerous. I don't know why I sound Vietnamese.
Me love you long time.
I need stick, need legs.
No. I look at Zet. I pass this information on. He's complaining. I think he's fine the way he is. If my fat ass can get through here, and I can't, Do you want me to untie his legs, Zet?
That's fine.
I don't think. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we'll untie his legs.
Give him his
Need
hands.
stick, need stick.
Give him his hands and his legs. We'll just keep the leash around his neck. If he runs for it, Jacques, just kill him.
Oui.
Or better yet, tell him if he tries to run, I will cast a spell that paralyzes him and leave him face down in the swamp.
Needless to say, it would be very bad for him.
See what he fears more, an arrow or drown slowly while he can do nothing.
Okay, so I will ask him, or I will say to him, if you make any false move, which would you prefer? An arrow in your back, or would you prefer to be face down, drowning in the swamp?
I prefer go free, go live long time.
Live long time.
Then I suggest you do exactly what we tell you.
Need tent pole.
Alright, we'll walk him like a dog over and get him a tent pole. Whatever.
Okay, you guys exit the cave. The nice, cool, dry, air-conditioned environment down below. Back up to the muggy, thick, fog-ridden swamp that has just the smell of the hint of burned meat, charred meat in the air. You make your way over to one
Smells
of the
like home.
Yeah, pretty much. You guys make your way over one of the tents, rip off about a 10-foot pole, and hand it to him. He nods that this will work. How long of a leash do you give him?
Like 10 feet?
It burns
10
it
feet.
freezes. Okay, so basically, you guys end up going to about the northeast portion of this little small island, and you end up wading through the water up to a small game trail. So pretty much over the next 8 hours or so, you are traveling deeper and deeper into the swamp, from game trail across small creeks. The entire time he is using the pole that you had given him to make sure that the ground is solid. There's also been times where he's walked onto the ground, then he's sunk a couple inches himself. He's turned back and looked at you guys, and was cautious and moved to a firmer ground. So, I mean, you can definitely tell that he obviously values his life. He wants to live. He's a coward anyway. And he's trying to do his best not to piss you guys off. You do notice that the deeper you get into the swamp, definitely the wetter it gets, to the point where the game trails are gone. And you are slogging through, 6 inches, 12 inches deep of water and mud, probably about the last 2 or 3 hours or so, which is obviously grueling work. It slows you down. You're getting stuck at points. You lose a boot. You got to rip it out. It's just absolutely slow going. Pretty much the feeling you get is this part of the swamp seems to be obviously deeper or lower than the parts that you were in. After again about 8 or 9 hours or so, with some short breaks, Friar, any time during that period that you try to take a short rest and use some hit dice or cast a healing on you or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll take a short rest and take another 1 or 2 rolls here. What can I do?
You can take up to 3d8, but obviously anything you use now, you will not be able to use during a long rest later.
Yeah, well, I'll use 2 now.
Okay. Give me about 3 hit points back here, if you don't mind. 2d8. 14, much better. That might even get you full, doesn't it?
Let me check. Yes, I believe it does.
Okay. It was very well spent, obviously. During this entire time, do you have any questions for the goblin or anything like that? Or are you guys just going in silence and bitching to yourselves that fucking swamps suck?
Maybe I was talking to you about how how we're gonna go about doing this.
Well, what we learned last time is that we decimated their army. The only thing we have to worry about is the Gobfather and his little bitch. The rest are women and children and elderly, I think.
True. He might have
I'll
a
have
few guards.
I'll have Friar Pan ask, the goblin again to make sure who's left at the village.
How many warriors are left in your village?
Not many. Most came. All goblins will fight, though. For the Gobfather.
I relay that information.
We may have to assess the situation and perhaps find a good defensive position.
Well, yeah.
But if there's some way we could kill the leaders first, I'm sure they will all scatter once they are dead. Or be very easily afraid.
Oh, and while we're resting, I'm going to tell the the little turd that as we get closer, I'm assuming there may be booby traps. If in any way, shape, or form we set off any trap, you are dead in the most painful way I can come up with, which will probably involve my hammer and your nads.
Praise be to Torm.
Good answer.
Okay. So again, most of the day passes as you guys start to catch a scent on the I would say wind, but I'll call it air. You detect or you smell that there is smoke. So it's obviously you believe you're getting closer. After a few more minutes, Teak turns around and he puts his hand up and he says, 100 paces that way is the goblin village.
There's no lookouts posted outside the village?
Yes, there's the watchtower.
Where's that at?
Village in Clef. Used to be dry, now swamp overtake. That's why Gobfather tried to move out. You walk in 50 paces, you see small hill. Top of hill tower. Inside crevice village.
Okay, I'll relay that to John. Second.
Ah. So do we go by the first plan? Shall we try to scare them a bit, announce our arrival?
No. I say we see if we can get some, reconnoiter a bit, and then set fire to the village, get them scrambling.
What do you want to do with the little one here? Should we tie him up, kill him? What do you want to do?
Well, we promised we'd let him go, so let him go. Tell him to run in the opposite direction.
Okay, I will untie him and tell him that he better run in the opposite direction, because if we see him anywhere near the
He's
village...
already gone. As soon as you say that, he starts running. He goes about 20 paces, and he turns around, and he says, "Watch out for spider pens!" And he jumps in the water.
Spiders.
I remember the spiders. Do you remember spiders?
Do you remember being my bitch for an hour?
He's the tiefling Clint Eastwood.
Not as much as I remember you peeing yourself.
I did not pee myself.
But in my story you did.
I actually have to chuckle at that. You guys want to take a break?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.